Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. I'm very sorry it's been a while since my last one, but for anyone who doesn't know, I've actually been away for the past couple of weeks. I went to Austin, Texas, in America, of course. Had a great holiday, had a great time. It was great to go somewhere different, do a bit of sightseeing and whatnot. But I'm back now, so hopefully you should see a lot more content from me going forward. But as the title suggests with this video, I did actually pick up quite a few things whilst I was over in America, and I thought it would just be fun to show you what I got. I do have a few Blu-rays here, but I also have some other things which might interest some other people, so yeah, let's just get straight into it and show you what I got. So the first thing I have to show you is this. So I picked this up from Spirit Halloween. So for anyone who's not familiar with Spirit Halloween, in America, around about Halloween time, there's something called Spirit Halloween where they set up stores all around the country for a few weeks, obviously during the Halloween time. I think they just rent out like unused warehouse space and just use that to set up the stores. And the stores just sell like costumes, Halloween merchandise, all that kind of stuff that people want, you know, around about Halloween time. But for anyone who's familiar with the movie Trick or Treat, you may recognize this. So at the end of the movie, the main villain, Sam, uses this. And obviously it's a chocolate bar, but on the inside it has a razor. Obviously this isn't real, it's just a toy. But I thought it was pretty cute. It only cost me about $10, I think. And I thought I'd just get it and use it as a bit of a display piece. So I'll put it somewhere on the bookcase behind me. But yeah, that's the first thing I picked up. So next up, I've just got a few vinyls to show you. Now, the first two that we got, we didn't actually buy. We won them in a movie quiz on Halloween. We found ourselves in a bar and they were doing a horror movie trivia quiz. And obviously being a huge movie fan, horror movie fan, I thought, gotta take part in it. We just won the quiz by one question. And they had a few prizes up for grabs, but a lot of them were like vouchers for things to do in Austin or in Texas. And we were going home in a few days' time, so they weren't really much use to us. So we opted to get the two vinyls. And the first one we got is Monsterama Volume 2. So I think this is kind of like a compilation album of like songs that are kind of horror related or monster movie related. But you know, I look at the track list on it and I don't really recognize any of the songs or any of the bands, so I'm not too sure exactly what this is. I haven't listened to it yet, but thought it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool prize to get. If anyone is familiar with this, let me know in the comments below, because yeah, I'm kind of at a loss as to what this album is really, but as I said, I haven't really listened to it yet. And then the other vinyl we won is something I'm a bit more familiar with, and it is the Halloween 2018 soundtrack, obviously by John Carpenter, his son Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies. Yeah, I think this is a fantastic soundtrack. I love the movie. Yeah, it looks great. That's the inside. Don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah, there's the back, of course. Yeah, haven't listened to it on record yet, but I have heard the soundtrack many times and it's fantastic. It also has my favourite version of the Halloween theme on it. It's titled Halloween Triumphant. If you like the Halloween theme, give that version a listen because it sounds great. But yeah, that is the Halloween 2018 soundtrack on vinyl. Next up, I have one more vinyl to show you, and I picked this up from a store called Waterloo Records. And in fact, everything else that I have to show you was also bought at the same store. Obviously, they're a record store, but they also sell CDs, Blu-rays, vinyls, merchandise, posters, all that kind of stuff. It was basically like a HMV, but more of an independent store. But it was a fantastic store, and I found myself in there quite a few times throughout the holiday. So the first thing I have to show you is Lost Themes 3 on vinyl. So again, John Carpenter with his son Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, and this is the third of their Lost Themes trilogy. And it's probably my favourite out of the 3 albums that they've done, you know, just original music. If you're a fan of John Carpenter and you like his music from his films, but you've never heard these, why haven't you heard them? Because they're absolutely fantastic. And yeah, they're just awesome stuff. Can't say much more than that. Been after this for a while, and it was on sale in the store, so I thought, yeah, why not? I'll pick it up. So yeah, that is Lost Themes free. So next up, I have a toy or a figure to show you, and this is one done by NECA. Now, I do own a few NECA figures. If you've seen my room tour video, you'll have seen that I do have a few Friday the 13th ones, Jason Voorhees. But other than that, I don't really tend to collect them just because here in the UK, they are quite expensive. But this figure was reduced from $30 to $15, which probably equates to about £12 to £13 here. And for a NECA figure, that is a brilliant price, and I just couldn't say no to it. Not a figure I was ever looking to get, but yeah, I just could not say no to that price. So I picked up the Thing, and this is the MacReady figure. Obviously, MacReady, Kurt Russell's character from the movie. Don't know if you can see that very well, but I think you can just about make out the figure in the box there. And yeah, I just could not say no to $15 for this because, yeah, these normally are quite expensive to buy in the UK. Still debating on whether to leave it in the box. What do you think I should do? Should I take it out of the box? Should I leave it in there? But yeah, that is the MacReady figure from The Thing. So lastly, onto the Blu-rays now. So again, in Waterloo Records, they had this fantastic section of Blu-rays and 4Ks. It was mostly random. There was all sorts in there, but I picked these 5 up mainly because you just can't get them here in the UK. You can import them, but they can be quite expensive and not very easy to get. And I just couldn't say no to some of these. 4 of them are 4Ks, and then we do have 1 Blu-ray. So I'll show you the Blu-ray first. And I picked up The Fly 2. So this is the Viavision version. Viavision is an Australian company. They do a lot of those imprint releases. And I think they're a pretty good company, and they're always region free or region B, so they'll always play in the UK. But the reason why I bought this version is because, well, we don't have a UK Blu-ray for The Fly 2 anyway. I think you can get a Spanish import, but the reason why I got this one is because it says it contains an audio commentary from the director, but also a deleted scene and I think an alternative ending. And to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever seen the deleted scenes or the alternative ending. I think this might be the only way to actually see them is on this release. I might be wrong there. Maybe you can watch them on the Spanish Blu-ray, but I'm not 100% sure. And the movie itself, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for it. I remember the first time I saw it, I absolutely hated it. The original Fly is one of my all-time favourite movies, and I remember the first time I saw this, I just thought it was a very disappointing follow-up. But over time, I have kind of come to appreciate it. I think the practical effects and the gore effects in this movie are absolutely fantastic and kind of underrated in a way when people talk about practical effects from movies. They don't really tend to mention this movie, but they look absolutely fantastic in this. And it has more of a monster movie kind of feel to it than the original Fly. Yeah, story-wise, it's nowhere near as strong as the first one, but I do think it's a pretty underrated sequel and one that has really grown on me over the years, so I'm glad to finally have it on Blu-ray. Next up, I have a 4K, and this is a movie that has only just recently come out on 4K, and it wasn't one I was ever going to get, mainly because it's had such a mixed reception. But again, it was on sale. I think it was $21, so that's probably about 17, 18 quid here in the UK. And it is Friday the 13th on 4K. So yeah, this has had a very, very mixed reception amongst fans. I've heard some people say they absolutely hate the transfer for this movie, and then other people have said they really like it. I'm kind of split down the middle with it. I don't own the Scream Factory 4K, so I can't really compare it. But I watched this last night, and yeah, the transfer does have some issues, mainly with the darker scenes. I felt like the darker scenes, the blacks, didn't contrast very well with the lighter moments in the dark scenes. I also found a lot of the really bright whites to be blindingly bright. Like there's one scene where the teenagers are all sitting on the dock, and the dock that they're sitting on is painted white, but it's like blinding white. It looks really weird and really unnatural. So yeah, I think the blacks and the dark scenes don't work very well, and the bright whites don't. But other than that, I do think a lot of the daylight scenes do look quite nice. There's some vibrant colours. I think skin tones look a lot more natural. So yeah, I'm kind of split down the middle with this. I'm not too fussed because I didn't really pay that much for it. And again, I don't own the Scream Factory release. By all accounts, that still seems to be the best way to watch the movie. But it wasn't a terrible 4K transfer. But yeah, it does have some issues. But anyway, that's Friday the 13th on 4K. Next 4K now, and I picked up Army of Darkness. Again, another recent release. This one is done by Scream Factory, and as soon as I saw this in the store, I knew I had to get it. I had been thinking about getting this when it was first announced, but I kind of held off. But as soon as I saw it, I just thought, yeah, I'll get it right now. Don't have to pay any import fees or anything like that. I'll just get it. I haven't watched the 4K yet, so I can't really comment on the transfer. But the movie itself, I love it. I know some people do have a more of a mixed feeling about this movie. I know it does go a bit too far into the comedy aspect for some people, but I just think this movie is a lot of fun. Bruce Campbell as Ash, he's kind of like at his peak here in this movie. He's arrogant, he's charming, he's goofy, but he's badass, and yeah, he's just hilarious in this movie, and I just have so much fun with it every time I watch it. Obviously, you've got different cuts here. You've got the theatrical cut, the director's cut, the international cut. I think the director's cut is the one that has the ending where when he goes back to the future, he goes too far into the future. That's my favourite ending to the movie, and I really wish they'd stuck with that ending for the theatrical release. But yeah, it's great to own this release from Scream Factory. Got the nice slipcover, all the bonus features, all that good stuff. Great artwork there. But yeah, that is Army of Darkness on 4K. And then lastly, onto my two final pickups from America. And these are, again, two 4K Blu-rays. And I am absolutely overjoyed to now have these in my collection. I have been wanting to get these for a long time. Because they are very hard to obtain here in the UK. I mean, you can obtain them, but you will pay a hefty price to obtain them. And to see them on sale as well was just even better. These are two releases from Blue Underground, and they are my first ever pickups from that label. And I picked up Maniac Cop 2 on 4K and Maniac Cop 3 Badge of Silence on 4K. Yeah, I'm just so happy to finally have these in the collection. I love the first Maniac Cop movie. It was one of my favourites as a teenager. I've seen Maniac Cop 2 and I do really like it, but I've only ever owned that on DVD. I've never seen Maniac Cop 3, and I know it's not very well liked amongst some people, but I just had to have the both of them. I couldn't get one without getting the other. And I've heard the transfers on these look absolutely fantastic, like some of the best out there. And considering the types of movies they are, like low budget, late 80s, independent horror movies, you wouldn't really expect much. But no, apparently they look absolutely fantastic on 4K, and I just can't wait to watch them. And again, they come in very nice slip covers, no reversible artwork, but the slip covers are very, very nice. That's Maniac Cop 3. And yeah, as soon as I saw them on the shelf and they were on sale, I just had to get them. So yeah, that is Maniac Cop 2 and Maniac Cop 3 Badge of Silence on 4K. So there you go, guys. Those are my pickups from my trip to America. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any of these Blu-rays, any of these vinyls. What do you think of them? I would love to hear your thoughts. But until then, I will see you all again on the next one. So take care, guys.